We're making cheese. Here on the crane we're going to be hanging a really big tub that will have about 10 gallons worth of milk in, and we're going to get it to blood temperature where if we stick our hands actually into the milk after heating it for a while, you actually won't be able to feel anything because you're heating it basically to your body temperature. That's what we mean by blood temperature. But when we get there, once we get to that temperature, we'll pull the crane open and take the pot off the fire, and we'll add rennet to the pot. And rennet is an enzyme from a calf's stomach, which will cause it to separate into curds and whey. And so once that's done, we'll actually let it sit for about 30 to 40 minutes. And the rennet will cause the milk to separate into the curds and whey, which we'll actually be able to squeeze. It'll be like a Jell-O consistency. I don't know. It's a technical term. But we'll squeeze it and it'll look almost like dry cottage cheese, because what we're doing is getting the rest of the whey out. And basically 10 gallons of milk is worth about 10 pounds of cheese. And after that we'll let it sit in the press for 7 days. We'll have to scald the press and salt the cheese to help form a protective rind so that we can have it age and not go bad for about 2 months. Then after that we'll be able to crack it open and hopefully we'll have some pretty good cheese. Well, hopefully it'll taste a little bit like a Parmesan cheddar mix, is from what I've heard it usually turns out. But a lot of that really depends on what the cow's been eating. If she has gotten into something, say, like wild onions, you're going to have an interesting tasting cheese that probably no one would want to taste. So it really depends on them for the most part.